Hello everyone, good day. So this video lesson is all about illustrating analysis of variance or yung tinatawag natin na ANOVA. So what is this ANOVA? Okay. So analysis of variance or ANOVA is a comparison test used to determine the significant difference among normal population. Okay, population means. So the comparison in means of three or more populations which follow normal distributions. Okay, can be simultaneously in just one application of the test. So we use this ANOVA when we are comparing, okay, three or more groups. Okay, so pag nagko-compare tayo ng three or more groups, kasi yung mga nakaraan, like yung t-test, yung z-test natin, we are comparing two only. Okay, so we use this ANOVA or analysis of variance when we compare three or more groups. If we want to see if there is a significant difference among three or more groups. Okay, so here are the following assumptions that should be met when we use this analysis of variance. Okay, when we use this ANOVA. So first is the various groups are assumed to be with normal populations. Okay. Next is the variance of the different groups is assumed to be equal. And lastly, the random samples in the groups should be independent. Okay? So, yun yung tatandaan natin. So, we have here the types of ANOVA. So, we have two. We have one-way and two-way classification. So, when we say one-way, okay, it compares the means of three or more independent groups based on one categorical independent variable. Okay? So, for example, yung test scores by class. For two-way naman, it evaluates the effect of two, okay? Two independent variables. Okay, like for example, test scores by class, again, and test scores by gender. So, magkaiba siya. Okay, two different variables or two independent variables on a single dependent variable including interaction effects. Okay? Ayan, so here are the steps in testing the hypothesis using ANOVA. Again, ginagamit yung ANOVA when we compare three or more groups. So, same lang siya, actually, ng procedures. We have 6 steps, okay? Just like yung z-test natin and t-test natin ng mga nakaraan. So, dito, first, of course, yung hypothesis natin. When we say hypothesis, we should formulate null and alternative hypothesis. Okay? Then number 2, we have the significance level and the test statistic. So later on, we will have a problem or sample problem and then we will apply this one. Okay? Then number 3 is the tabular value of F. Okay? So kung meron tayong z-test or I mean z-table for z-test and t-table for t-test, for this one, for ANOVA, we have this what we call F-table. Okay? So we have another table, F-table. Then, for the step number 4, ito na yung solving proper. We have here 6, okay, 6 steps. Andyan na rin yung mga formula niya. We have the total sum of squares or yung TSS na tinatawag natin. We have the sum of squares between column or the SSB. And then we have the sum of squares within column, SSW. And mean sum of squares between, so we have MSSB. And then the mean sum of squares within, we have MSSW. And then lastly, of course, yung F value natin. Okay, so nandyan sa right side yung ating formula. Okay, so later on, i-apply natin siya. So ito yung ating formula for number 4. Kompleto na yan. Okay, then, of course, number 5, we have to decide whether to accept or reject the null hypothesis. And then, lastly, of course, our conclusion. So, later on, I will state to you the different conditions, okay, if paano ba or kailan natin i-accept or i-reject yung ating null hypothesis. So, let us have this example. So consider the three groups of 7 students, okay, where each group is subjected to one of the three strategies or methods of teaching. So Group A was exposed to an exploratory approach, Group B for cooperative learning, and Group C for traditional method. So the grades of students are presented below. So we have to test if there is a difference in the three methods of or strategies of teaching at 5% level of significance. So ito yung mga given natin. Okay, so sabi dyan, we have 7 students each daw per group. Okay, na ini-study natin. So yung grades daw nila ay nandiyan. Oh. For group A, ayan, meron siyang grade na 85, 90, 92, 88, 91, 93, 89. Okay, for group B, we have 86, 88, 89, 90, 87, 88, and 91. And then for group C naman, we have 100, 89, 88, 87, 83, 85, and 80. So, yan yung itetest natin kung meron ba silang difference. Okay, kung meron bang difference yung three strategies or methods of teaching, kung nakaapekto ba siya dun sa grades ng mga students. Okay? So, we will be using, of course, ANOVA here. We are comparing three groups, right? Okay. Ayan. So, the first step, of course, as I've said earlier, the first step is to formulate a hypothesis. Yung number one step natin, first step is to formulate a hypothesis, particularly the null and alternative hypothesis or yung Ho and Ha natin or H sub O and H sub A. Okay? So, in here, pwede natin siyang, wait lang, let me write here muna. So, first step is the hypothesis. Okay? So, sa hypothesis natin, ang pwede nating, or I mean, sa null hypothesis natin, okay, pwede nating ilagay dyan, since null siya, there is no significant difference. Okay? There is no significant difference, okay, among the three methods, okay, among the three methods, i-shortcut ko na lang muna, three methods or strategies, okay, three methods or strategies of teaching, of teaching. Okay? Yan yung null hypothesis pa lang yan. For alternative, of course, yung kabaliktaran niya or simply there is. Okay? There is a significant difference. Okay? Shortcut ko na lang ha. Difference among the three methods. Oops. Among the three methods or strategies in or of teaching. Methods or strategies of teaching. Ayan. Tindihin na lang ninyo, medyo mahirap magsulat dito sa pen tablet. Okay? So, after we formulate the hypothesis, okay, next is we have to identify the level of significance. Okay? Kung ano yung ginamit na level of significance and kung ano yung gagamitin nating test statistics, okay, based doon sa problem. So, of course, dito, isulat ko na lang dito, number 2, yung significance level natin ay given na dyan, so 5% or you can write there 0.05. And then, of course, yung test statistic natin, since we are comparing three groups, we have to use the ANOVA. Okay? We have to use the ANOVA for the test statistic. Okay? Then, after determining or after formulating the hypothesis, after determining the level of significance and the test statistic to be used, we are now going to get the critical value or the tabular value, okay, or the critical value for F. So, paano ba natin kinukuha to? So, again, sabi ko nga, dito gagamit tayo ng tinatawag natin na F-table. So, yung F-table natin, andito siya sa right side. Ito siya. Okay, table 5 natin, F-table. So, as you can see, meron tayo dito, numerator degrees of freedom at denominator degrees of freedom. So, paano ba natin ma-identify? Okay? So, ang titingnan natin dito, okay, is yung number of groups, okay, at saka yung total na data nandyan. Kasi, ang formula natin, okay, ilagay ko dito. So, this is number 3 steps, okay? So, ang formula natin so, ito na yung tabular value of f. Wait lang. Sulat ko lang. Tabular value of f. Ayan. So, ang formula natin dito is for the degree of freedom for numerator, ito, ilagay ko lang dyan, df sub n, that is equal to k minus 1. And then for the degree of freedom for denominator, that is equal to n minus k. So, ano yung k? Ano yung n? Okay? Yung k minus 1, o yung k natin, okay, yung k, it stands for the number of groups being compared. So, ibig sabihin, sabi ko nga kanina, we have 3, right? Ibig sabihin, 3 minus 1. O, we have group A, group B, and group C. We are comparing them. So, we have 3 groups. Kaya, ang formula natin, i-substitute lang ninyo, magiging 3 minus 1 is equal to 2. So, yung degree of freedom natin for numerator is 2. Okay? Then, for the degree of freedom sa denominator natin, ang formula ay n minus k. Saan naman nakukuha yung n? Saan nakukuha yung k? So, ganun lang din yung sa k. Okay? Yung n natin, okay, tatandaan niyo yan yung total number of data natin. Okay? So, kung meron tayong 3 groups, ayan, bibilangin natin kung ilan ito, ilang estudyante yan. So, since we have 7 students per group na participant nung study natin, ilan yun? 7 times 3 is 21. So, 21 yung n natin. Again, yung n natin ay total number of data. So, dito, total number of students. Okay? So, 21 minus yung k natin na 3. So, that is 18. So, we have now the degree of freedom for numerator and degree of freedom for denominator. So, ang gagawin ninyo dito, punta kayo dun sa table. Tingnan ninyo yung sa numerator, we have the 2. Ayan, titingnan nyo yung 2. And then, for the denominator, titingnan naman ninyo yung 18. Then, i-connect lang ninyo, gano'n lang din sa pagtingin sa mga dating naunang table natin. Kung saan sila nag-meet, yun yung tabular value ng f. So, ibig sabihin, yung tabular value of f for this one, given the level of significance is 5% or 0.05, then we have 3.55. Okay? So, ito, itabi ninyo ito kasi later, gagamitin natin siya when we are going to decide na. So, 3.55. Okay? Tandaan nyo yan, 3.55. Okay. So, now, okay, we are ready to solve for or to proceed with the step number 4. Okay? So, sa step number 4, meron tayo dyan, ayun na yung pinaka solving proper natin. Okay? Yun na yung pinaka-solving proper natin. So, before we formally proceed with the TSS, SSB, SSW, and so on and so forth, ito muna yung kailangan natin gawin. Kasi magagamit natin siya or need natin siya para may mai-substitute tayo doon sa mga formula natin. Okay, naintindihan? So, so dinagdagan ko na siya. Kanina, ang given lang natin ay ito students, group A, group B, group C. So, nagdagdag na ako ng 3 column. Okay, ito yung kailangan nating i-fill out, kailangan nating kumpletuhin. Okay? So, in here, dito sa first additional column natin, yung group A natin, nakatapat dyan, x sub a squared. Ibig sabihin, i-square lang natin yung mga values na under sa column ng x sub a. For example, yung 85 square, o ano yung 85 square? We have 7,225. Okay, ganun lang siya. 90 squared, next, 90 squared, we have 8,100. And then for 92, we have 8,464. Okay, for 88, we have 7,744. And then for 91, we have 8,281. For 93, we have 8,649. And then for 89, we have 7,921. Okay, so paki-calculator na lang ninyo, dinadirect ko na siya dito. Okay, square lang naman. Next is for the x sub b squared. So, ibig sabihin lahat ng under dito, i-square din natin. So, 86 square is 7,396. 88 square is 7,744. And then 89 square is 7,921. 90 square is 8,100. Then, anong next na? We have 87 square, we have 7,569. And then for 88 square, we have 7,744. Then for 91 square, we have 8,281. Okay, ayan. Then next, lastly, we have to square ulit yung x sub c natin. Ayan siya, para makompleto yung table. So, 100 square is 10,000. Ayan, kulang 10,000. Then, for 89 square, we have 7,921. For 88 square, we have 7,744. For 87 square, we have 7,569. For 83 square, we have 6,889. And for 85, we have 7,225. So, 7 ito, wait lang. 7,225. And then for 80 square, of course, we have 6,400. Ayan. So, complete na yung table natin. Okay? And after that, ayan, ang kailangan natin gawin para hindi na tayo maabala mamaya na i-add ng i-add isa-isa yung nasa data natin, i-total natin. Okay? Kukunin natin yung summation. Summation ng x sub a. So, ito, yung i-add natin siya. So, pag in-add natin yan, 85 plus 90 plus 92 plus 88 plus 91 plus 93 plus 89, mag-i-equal siya sa 628. Okay? 628. Next naman, ito, summation of x sub b naman, o pag inad natin yan, 86 plus 88 plus 89 plus 90 plus 87 plus 88 plus 91, we will get 619. And then for this one, summation of x sub c naman is, pag inad natin lahat yan, ang makukuha natin ay 612. Okay? So, ganun din. Kunin din natin yung sum of all nitong data, sum of all under this column, x sub a squared. X sub a squared. Okay? So, ang makukuha natin dito, pag tinotal natin yan lahat, inad natin under this column, is, ilagay ko dito sa baba, baka hindi kasya. So, we have 56,384. Okay? Then, for this one, summation of x sub b squared naman, ang makukuha natin dyan ay 54,755. Okay? And then, for the last column, we have the summation of x sub c squared that is equal kay 53,748. Okay? Ayan. So, nakuha na natin. Next, again, is we have to add yung lahat na. Okay? Kasi again, magagamit natin siya mamaya para directly, yun na yung isa-substitute natin sa formula natin. So, dito, summation nitong lahat ay equal kay pag inad mo yung 628 plus 619 plus 612, ang makukuha natin ay 1,859. And then for this one, pag inad natin to, 56,384 plus 54,755 plus 53,748, ang makukuha naman natin ay 164,887. Okay? So, i-keep natin to, tandaan natin kasi yan, magagamit na natin siya doon sa solving proper natin for step number 4. Ayan, so let us now proceed with the step number 4, which is yon. Ito na yung gagamitin natin, yung mga formula given there. So we are now ready to proceed with the step number 4 using this formula. Okay? So the first one is we have to find for the TSS. Okay? Yung total sum of squares natin. So ang formula, i-substitute lang natin. Okay? So TSS is equal to the summation of x squared minus the quantity sum of summation of x squared over n. So, isa-substitute lang natin. So, the summation of x squared is ito. Ito yung summation of x squared natin, yung nakuha natin kanina dito. So, 164,887 minus, summation of x naman, parenthesis siya. Okay, nasa labas yung square. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung kailangan natin. So, 1,859 square, okay, over the n is the total number of data which is kanina nagamit na natin 21. Then, pag kinalculator ninyo yan, direkta ninyo, ang makukuha natin ay, okay, 300, i-round off natin into 2 decimal places, we have 321.24. So, yan na yung TSS natin. Okay, so this is for letter A. Okay, for letter B, the next one is the SSB. Okay? So, yun yung formula. Ito yung formula natin for SSB. So, hindi ko na isusulat. Medyo mahaba. So, i-direct na natin na i-substitute. Okay? Again, ito yung gagamitin ko. Hindi ko na siya isusulat kasi super haba. So, i-substitute natin. Sabi dyan, 1 over n. So, tatandaan ninyo class, yung meron tayong capital and small letter n dito. So, yung small letter n, yan yung number of students or yung number of participant per group. Okay? So, number of participant per group. So, dito, ilan yung students per group? Ito siya, nakalagay dyan. So, 7, di ba? So, we have 7 each group being compared. So, ilalagay natin 1 over 7, okay, times, summation of x sub a, tas nasa labas yung square. So, ibig sabihin, ang gagamitin natin ay ito. Okay, hindi ito. Kasi, iba yung ano niya. Okay? So, nasa labas yung natin, square natin. So, ang mangyayari dyan, 628 squared plus 619 squared plus 612 squared. Ito yung ginamit natin. Ito. Okay? Square. Minus the summation of x squared. So, same lang siya dito. Okay, kukunin natin ito. Okay, same lang siya dyan. Saan na yung pen ko? Yan. So, 1,000, i-direct na ninyo, 1,859 squared over, yung n natin ay 21. So, kapag sinolve natin yan, ang makukuha natin na SSB ay 18.38. Okay, 18.38. Again, hindi ko na sinulat yung formula kasi mahaba, so ginamit ko lang yung letter B dyan. Okay, follow lang ninyo. Then next, we have letter C. Okay? Para kumasya, ayan. Hindi ko na isusulat yung formula. So, for letter C, we have TSS minus SSB. Ito na yung ginagamit ko ngayon. Okay? So, TSS, kunin lang natin yung nakuha nating TSS dito. We have SSW is equal to, we have 321.24, 321.24 minus yung SSB natin which is 18.38. So, ang makukuha natin dito, SSW natin is 302.86. Okay, yun na yung SSW. Next is letter D which is yung MSSB. That is equal to SSB over degree of freedom ng numerator. So, sa degree of freedom ng numerator natin, alam na natin yan. Okay? Yung degree of freedom of numerator is equal siya kay K minus 1. So, i-substitute lang ulit natin. So, we have SSB is equal to, ilagay muna natin, MSSB is equal to, yung SSB natin is 18.38 divided by degree of freedom ng numerator, that is k minus 1. So, ilang groups yung kino-compare? 3. So, 3 minus 1 is 2. So, ang makukuha nating sagot dito, kapag sinolve natin, okay, we have 9.19. So, yun yung MSSB natin. Okay? Next, for letter E, we have MSSW. So, sa MSSW naman, SSW is equal to degree of freedom ng denominator. So, again, degree of freedom ng denominator ay equal siya kay N minus K. Ibig sabihin, total number of data minus the number of groups being compared. So, yung total number of data natin, syempre, we have 21. So, 21 minus 3 is 18. So, yun yung gagamitin natin. So, i-substitute lang natin yung formula. So, SSW na nakuha natin kanina ay 302.86 over yung degree of freedom natin for denominator is 18. So, pag sinolve natin ito, ay sorry, 86 pala ito. Sorry, this is 86. 82 yung nasulat ko. 302.86 divided by 18, that is equal kay 16.83. Okay? And then, of course, for the last step, okay, last step natin is yung F value. So, MSSB over MSSW. So, i-substitute lang natin. So, F value, okay, F value is equal to MSSB natin is 9.19 and then yung MSSW natin is 16.83. Ayan, tama. 16.83. So, yung makukuha nating F value ay 0.55. So, ito na yung gagamitin natin together with the tabular value of F kanina to compare para makapag-decide tayo whether to accept or reject the null hypothesis. Ayan. Now we are ready. Since na-compute na natin yung F value natin, we are now ready to decide, okay, whether to reject or to accept the null hypothesis. So, dito, mayroon tayong dalawang condition, okay, when to accept or when to reject the null hypothesis. So, sabi dyan, if the computed F value is greater than or equal sa tabular value natin, okay, we have to reject the null hypothesis. Then, pag yung F value naman ay less than doon sa tabular value natin, then we have to accept. So, balikan natin yung ating na-compute kanina. So, we computed yung F value natin is 0.55. Okay? Yung na-compute natin doon sa sample problem natin ay 0.55. And yung tabular value natin, as we saw it sa ating F table is 3.55. So, malinaw o sinong mas malit sa kanila, so malinaw na yung F value is less than the tabular value of F. Therefore, we have to accept the null hypothesis. Okay? So, yun yung ating decision. We have to accept the null hypothesis. Then, lastly, of course, yung ating conclusion. Okay? So, sabi dito, pag nireject daw natin yung null hypothesis, ang magiging conclusion natin ay there is a significant difference. Okay? O kasi nga, nireject natin, okay? Balikan nyo yung finormulate nyo na hypothesis. Diba ang null hypothesis ninyo ay there is no significant difference. O, so, pag nireject natin, ibig sabihin, may difference. There is a significant difference. Kapag inaccept naman natin, o ayun, inaccept nga natin, so ibig sabihin, napatunayan natin na tama yung null hypothesis natin na there is no significant difference. Okay? O, so dito, since inaccept natin, ang pwede nating maging conclusion based doon sa problem natin, okay, there is no significant difference among, okay, the three methods or strategies of teaching. Okay? So, yun yung magiging conclusion natin. Okay? So, that's it for this video lesson. Thank you.